Okay, well, hello everyone, and welcome to another webinar that is organized and set up by our team, our RigER team, for everyone who is in the oilfield rentals and services business. So today's webinar topic is on frac and flowback equipment rentals and operations in RigER. So we're going to be discussing some details of how you can manage your oilfield rentals and service operations in RigER if you are operating in the frac and flowback market. First things first, though, I would like to make sure that everybody is here with us, who is here with us today is able to hear and see the screen, and also get familiar with the control panel. So how any one of you can actually get in touch with us? There's multiple ways, and one of the most important ones that we encourage everyone to do actually professionally is just to go to LinkedIn and follow our page on LinkedIn. It's a great tool. And we always put out the latest information, including this webinar and any other webinar in our LinkedIn page. So feel free to follow us there, and we're happy to see that the number of the followers is going up constantly. So that means that more people are now know how to join our webinars and learn more about RigER. So let's go back to the main topic today's presentation, and there will be a couple of slides. And a couple of presenters today. So let me introduce you to the agenda of today's webinar. So Michael Maltsev is the head presenter today, and he's going to be talking about the flowback and frac equipment rentals in RigER. We will talk about some of the client stories and go through the configuration overview options. We'll discuss how do you make a purchase in RigER for the this configuration, and a few other specific aspects of the configuration. Okay, so let's just, without further ado, go through another couple of slides to make sure that we wait for everyone who is joining and getting comfortable, getting ready for the main content. So RigER is a flagship of a company that's called Telcasoft Corporation, and we wanted to share some of the insight about our company with those of you who are new to our product and the team and the solution. So we're pretty busy, and this is as a company and as a product. And here's a few numbers that we wanted to share with you. So currently our users are operating on the version 7.0 at the Oklahoma City of RigER, and we spent a lot of time in flights visiting our clients and their future clients with one main office. We won a few awards and are happy to see that our clients are very satisfied with our product. So some of the highlights were on this slide, and we wanted to make sure that you had a chance to take a look at them. We also wanted to thank every one of our clients, and not every one of our clients is actually on this slide, but we wanted to thank everyone who's been using successfully RigER to help with their operations. So we're glad to see you in our today's presentation, and we are welcoming any new clients as well. So what is Oklahoma City RigER 7.0 release? So you can see there's a few components to it, and it's just a snapshot of the main RigER modules, from purchasing on the left-hand side to the sub-rental module, to the interdepartment transfer equipment transfer module, to the rental module, that is a big one, HR module that allows you to keep track of the employee-related information, and the sales module. So it's made of several key modules that allow you to manage your operations in RigER. More modules are coming in the next release. So and a little bit about us in general. So we're a growing family of customer business, a few pictures and a few awards. We're pretty proud about the latest award that we've been nominated and have been part of the ceremonies in the last year, and we're coming up in the new year for more of those awards. So stay tuned in our social media or via our social media channels. So the product family of RigER, again, it's a quick intro to those of you who are new to RigER family products. So it's a cloud platform with the mobile applications and a number of different industry applications, one of which will be covered in today's webinar. And there's different configurations of RigER that can be used to manage different kinds of equipment, from generators to the telecommunication equipment, to the frac and flowback that we're going to be talking about today, to the waste management, the manufacturing companies that also have the rental component and downhole tools. Pretty much any equipment that is involved in the oil field can be managed in RigER. So let me, on that note, pass microphone to Michael, who is going to start talking about the Frac and Flowback approach.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to RigER webinar 55. So we are really happy to start this and presenting a new product. And one of our new product is a Frac and Flowback equipment, Oilfield Rentals and Service operations, where we trying to help the companies who doing the frac jobs, flowback jobs, well testing jobs, pressure controls to track the equipment and manage those processes. So talking about number of different type of the equipment used in fracking jobs, it's really big list, and we have lots of different groups of items which we track and the serial numbers. So one package could be more than 100 different rental units with all serialized with a particular testing expire date and certification expire date and different comments, different configurations. So moving forward with this kind of complex operations are really tough, so and really challenging for our clients, and we build specific configuration to track those equipment, and today I'd like to present it to you. So this configuration was done through the collect information from different clients and different client stories. And main challenge of those clients are tracking complex rental fleet. So the number of different rental units, different types of rental units, they're very big and growing all the time. The next step is understanding the inspection, repairs, and maintenance challenges, and record all those information, upload certificates, and show all those information when needed. And definitely, number one step when you implement cloud solution is eliminate paper tickets and run fast invoicing. So solution which we offer to our clients is a RigER Frac and Flowback plus integration with QuickBooks. And let's talk about Frac and Flowback more precisely. So the platform, the RigER as a platform, gave us an opportunity to build different configuration for different requirements for different clients. And we build a specific configuration for to track Frac and Flowback operations. We use existing modules, kind of attributes, repairs, and rework, and we build a specific features which we use particular for this configuration. And those features are assemblies and billable items. We separate assemblies items and billable items. I will show you how we do that. We add purchase sheet, load sheet, and return sheet. Those three documents will track assembly items. So first thing which I like to show you is an attribute, and the unit number attribute, which is a specific features which you can set up for a particular item. For example, if we talk about valves, they usually can be switched from hydraulic to manual. And you need to understand when it's done, how it works, and what kind of status of right now for this valve. Another example could be a number of heads for the well head, a number of ways for the crossovers, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So things are changing all the time when you build a specific configuration for a particular well, and that is why we need to understand how we build this and how we'll run this. One of the challenge which we see with our clients is the purchasing of the equipment. So a traditional purchase, when you have a purchase order, bill of lading, and purchase invoice, usually not meet the requirements of the operations. For example, when we see the purchases in the from operation perspective, it's a shop manager who receive items. You need to stamp it, assign a particular unit numbers, and then send them to the field. Sometimes they need to send to the items to the field next day. And the challenge here that in many cases, like when we talk about conventional purchases, we waiting for purchase invoice from our vendor to understand to which PO those items belongs to, what is the price, etc., etc. All those kind of details, which are very important for accounting, but less important for the operations, because the main goal for them is just to make it working tomorrow. That is why we build a temporary document, which we call purchase sheet. And the purchase sheet purpose is to to register purchases faster when the item coming to the shop. And after that, generate the unit numbers. Here we have the example of the purchase sheet when we have a vendor, department, and line of business. And when we enter the item, we can generate unit numbers, and the unit numbers will be generated automatically, and we can put the certificates, the expire dates, the manufacturer number, manufacturer, PO, BOL, and purchase invoice can be attached later. And this is the main difference between bill of lading and purchase sheet. So the bill of lading could be a secondary document which we will use for record the purchases and allocate this purchase sheet. It's possible to allocate this purchase sheet between several POs, which is really speed up the purchasing processes and give the opportunity to operations move equipment faster. Another thing which we see that there are different approach as like a normal and traditional rentals and the flowback operations and fracking. There are two different things. So one is the assembly items, and the second is the billable items. Because usually we present in the invoice only a package quantity and price, but we need to track all the serial numbers which we send to the field. So in this case, we just separate them to a particular assembly items and billable items. And what we build a load sheet template, because we see that from well to well, from rig to rig, you can have a specific package, specific configuration of the equipment, which you will use and replicate similar job to a different location. And that give us an ability to enter this load sheet faster. And now I will show you how it works right now. So load sheets and return sheets are two documents which will move assembly items to the field and back. So we have here the load sheet template which we pre-built for a particular client, and we use this for a specific job type. Say, for example, free well for this particular client, two well package for this particular client, and definitely we can have a particular template, particular package for a particular stage, say fracking, well testing, and flowback. And based on the load sheet, we generate a load sheet. So load sheet template could be generated out of a load sheet, and we can use this load sheet template to generate the next load sheet. Kind of I will explain that in a second. But the main idea is billable items going through the traditional step by step, like price agreement, rental service agreement, rental ticket return, field ticket, and the final invoice. But the assembled items use load sheets and return sheets, so we move them parallel. And based on that, we can have the return sheet and the repair cards. The repair cards technically can be included to the invoice as well. So let me show you how we build the load sheet. So we have a specific register for the load sheets, and you can see them when you prepare the job. So, and again, one of the good thing about load sheets that you can build the load sheets before actual rental service agreement and delivery ticket generated. So you can send a task to the guys in the yard that they need to prepare this particular configuration, this particular package for this particular client, and they already know through the load sheet template what kind of configuration you required for this job, which is really robust and speed up the process of the building this load sheet. And when you build a load sheet, you select a particular unit number you set up for this job, and it will show you the expire date. You can put a specific note about this particular valve, and you can adjust the attributes, change the attributes as soon as you set up this new package, the new configuration of the equipment. So using that, based on that, you can run the rental ticket, so RigER, using the items, assembly items, and move billable items in the rental ticket parallel process. So when the job is done and you'd like to return everything, so you can fill out a list of items automatically from the load sheet. This is your return sheet, and if you have portionally returned, so you can check and uncheck items you're returning today. You can check all the unit numbers and put the conditions, usually wells required repairs. And now you can add additional nodes and change attributes if necessary, because it could be for the valve manual hydraulic, it could be a different size for different items, number of ways, and lots of different attributes which the user can set up by themselves. That's how the Frac and Flowback configuration works. So we have two main items: billable items, which will be packages, and assembled items, which will be components of this package, which we will track separately through the load sheets and return sheets. Billable items, we track them in a conventional way in RigER, so nothing changed with those items. We can build the price agreement, use different services, parallel with the packages, combine services and rental units, build combo units. All those things are still existing in the database. You can use it. It's available at the Frac and Flowback configuration. However, it works together with this assembled items, so the components. And definitely, final invoice can show us what we have, and to be sure that we invoiced everything properly, we have a billing control report which will show us what was invoiced and what should be invoiced. So kind of an extra control here.
Right, thank you, Michael. And we've come to the point almost midway through where we are gladly taking your questions if you have any. I'm just checking the list of the questions right now, and we'll be reading them out one by one or as they come in. So feel free to, and if you don't know how to submit a question, just move your mouse down to the bottom of the screen of yours. There will be a Q&A icon. click it, and there you go. So you're able to type up your question if you have any questions. So some of the questions that we've received so far, and I want to make sure that I will bring the right people to answer them. So the first question is that, how do I assign a serial number to an item when I purchase it in the system? So that, I assume, is a question from a user, a current user of the system.
Yeah, for sure. We can preset the unit numbers by departments. So through the departments, you will have a specific prefix, and you will need to put a quantity of the particular items and click generate unit numbers, and it automatically will generate all the unit numbers from the last, using the last unit number for this department. So the unit numbers will be generated automatically, and the prefix of the department will be used to separate, say, for example, frac and flowback items.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Well, thank you very much. I hope that addresses the question. If there's any more of those nature, just please do send them along. Another question: can I and how can I change valve type in the system? For example, from hydraulic to manual. That's, I assume, also a question.
Yes. So to change the attribute, the valve type will be an attribute of the valve. First of all, we need to set up and configure the attribute list. So we will need to understand which attribute belongs to what item. And the changes could be done anytime. And we have a change attribute document. Let me show you. The attribute update document, and we register every single step. Say, for example, for this well 15K, type manual, change to hydraulic, and we know what date and time on the background. We record time as well, what date and time the attribute was changed, and after that we can show you the entire history of the rental units attribute, so you can see when it was done and what was the trigger for this attribute update.
Now that's very handy, I think, right? So because a lot of people want to keep track of the information, such as an attribute about the unit. So I think this is where the value of it comes in.
True.
Another question that I have right now, and I think we'll probably then park the rest ones for the second part of our presentation, is that how do I track parts and consumables?
Oh, pretty much the same thing. So when we talk about rental units, we have them as a part of the package, and consumables could be part of the package as well. So the only difference between rental units and consumables that the consumables will be utilized and fully write off from the balance when we build the package. That's the way. So it could be gaskets, bolts, nuts, whatever.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Michael, again, and let's just move on to the second part of the presentation then. Thank you.
Yeah, the next step after the job, we usually, when we talk about valves, we definitely need to disassemble everything and see what we can repair by ourselves. So to speed up this process, we build a repair dashboard specifically for the valves, and it will show you what is the priority of these operations. You can filter the repair dashboard by rental unit, client, department, rental service agreement, locations, by priority, and by the unit number. You can set up the repair date and time, and kind of repair item in a system by one click. So when you click repair check, it will go on from the repair dashboard, because we can consider this as a repaired unit. So, and definitely we can see not only the kind of situation, what we repair right now, but we can see the history of the repairs. So through this dashboard, we can see, okay, what was repaired last month, last week, last day. And a good thing about the repair dashboard that if you could not repair this item internally, you can send this to your machine shop, external vendor, external repairs, which we call rework in a system. And if you'd like to see the list of your units required repairs, you can build a need repair report. This repair report can be exported to Excel, sent to your peers by email, or you can schedule automatic email sending daily, weekly, whatever frequency you prefer. So the next step after the repairs could be a rework. Rework, we call third-party repairs as a rework, and the rework module works as the follows. So it changed status from deployed to need repair when we do a rental ticket return or when we do a return sheet with conditions need repair. And after that, we generate the repair card, and at the repair dashboard, by the way, a repair dashboard could be showing on the monitor in the repair shop, which is really handy, and the people can understand what needs to be repaired because the manager can manage priorities for the repairs, and you can see, okay, we need this kind of size required tomorrow or the next week, so we can reprioritize their repair process. So, and after the repair card generated, we move this. Say, for example, we couldn't do this internally, we need to move it to the repair. So we send this item for rework status. And after that, we're waiting till bill of lading out when we move equipment to the vendor. And at the vendor, the status for this equipment will be rework status. And when we return it, again, here we see only one option, ready to rent, but some of the clients use, again, inspection. So it could be for inspection, and after the inspection, it could be ready to rent, or maybe required some sort of repair, whatever. So the entire rework module work as the, based on the purchase module, with a new type of the purchase order. So we have two types of purchase orders right now, purchase order purchases and purchase order rework. And after the repair card repair, the item goes from repair dashboard to rework dashboard with full rework status. They generate rework PO combining different for rework items and send to the vendor. As soon as we're ready to ship it, we generate bill of lading out, and automatically status of this those items become rework. At the rework status, they will still stay at the rework status till we will have bill of lading in. And this dashboard gives us an opportunity to manage all our rework items internally. So rework status generated like pure rework. Here we have type rework, this differentiator of the standard purchase order purchases. And we have two columns, services and components. So these services will be rework services, which we will use for rework. It could be reface, recut, I don't know. You can sort them by different services required from machine shop, and you assign a particular unit number for each line. After that, you do the reward bill of lading out. You can send the rental units like one by one or bulk of them individually. And now we have two bill of lading: a return and in should be out. And these give us an opportunity to track those step-by-step operations. And after that, we generate rework purchase invoice. And here we will have only services rework. And notes, usually clients ask us to build here the unit numbers for the notes. And the reward dashboard showing you all the statuses for rework and rework in the same page. You can filter by status, vendor, rental units, unit number. You can generate a PO right of here, and you can generate bill of lading out and bill of lading in. And each document will change the status of items. This is what we have as the Frac and Flowback configuration, and we're ready to answer all the questions.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you very much. And like I mentioned, any one of you who guys are on the call today, please do feel free to send your questions through the Q&A panel. One question that I have right now, Michael, is actually how do you turn on and off the rework if you don't need to use it, for example, the rework module?
Yes, a rework module, as other modules in a system, is highly configurable, and you can add a rework module by one click and hide this option by second click. However, you need to be sure that no status for rework or rework in the system, like no units of those statuses. Otherwise, you will be in trouble, so you couldn't move it out. So to switch rework off, you need to be sure that there is no units with status for rework and rework.
So can a user do it by themselves, or should they ask for help from our team?
It's
how long it takes?
It will require some sort of the setup. It will be a setup fee, and it will be the module license fee. So yeah, it should be done by us.
Great. Okay, thank you very much. Any other questions? And I'm just reaching out to the audience of ours today. Feel free to type them up. I have exhausted all the questions that I've had right now. And what I wanted to let you know, guys, though, you may have some questions down the road. If you are a user or if you're soon to be a user of RigER, we have a bunch of different ways how you can get a hold of us and ask the questions in person if you don't want to ask them right now in the webinar format. So there is a simple email, support@rigor.us, and we'll be able to find the right person to answer your question. You can also, if you haven't been a user of RigER yet, so you can also go on a website and fill out a demo form. So we'll be more than happy to take that in and actually walk you through the system at any time. We can also have the phone line open, and we always do have it open, and you can call us and we can answer any questions or book you for a demo or provide with additional information if you're a current user. Through that channel as well. So feel free to reach to us by any of those means.
So yeah, if you'd like to see this configuration, Frac and Flowback equipment, so please reach us and book your demo. And the reason why I ask this to, because the configuration itself is quite big, and the format of webinar not give us an opportunity to show you all the details and all those small things, but definitely for the demo we can do that.
Perfect. Well, great. Thank you very much. And so the next couple of slides will be about the Digital 2020. Is that right, Michael?
Absolutely. So we continue our initiative to digitalize oil field, and we understand current turbulence for the industry right now. However, this is what we are going to do this year. So the next step will be in Midland. Then we are going to go to Fort Worth and Houston. Hopefully, everyone will stay healthy and calm. So this is what we're going to do. We like to thank all our clients. We accepting this challenge right now, for which we see for our industry, and we continue support our clients without any breaks, without any exceptions,
or interruptions for that matter, right? So we are here to help at any time.
Absolutely. And so we see that kind of challenging time coming, and we like to help our clients to optimize operations to make oilfield service and rentals operations smooth and digital.
Perfect.
So, and if you in Midland area, please see us next 2 weeks, March 25th, 26th, in the Midland Horseshoe Pavilion, booth 110. So, if you have any questions, feel free to come and stop and ask. And we can potentially shake the hands.
Yes. We definitely will be shaking hands and taking all the precautions necessary to make sure that we're all stay healthy and productive and positive at the same time. So regardless of whatever the trying times those might be, okay? So on that note, I think we are ready to close today's webinar, and would like to thank especially everyone who's joined us today. We're looking forward to hear from you in the offline mode if you have any questions or if you have any comments. Feel free to reach to us over the social media or any other channels. We're there, and we're here to help.
Thank you so much, and see you next week.
Thank you, guys.